Hello students, today our lecture will be on rivers. There are various rivers found in India and we will discuss some of them in this today's lecture. First of all, I would like to tell you that I am Dr. Preeti Mathur, Associate Professor, Department of Zoology, SPC, Government College Ajmer. Now viewers, in this slide about rivers and human civilization. Rivers played a very important role in the development and maintenance of civilizations. With the discovery of the usefulness of water in food production, man realized that hunting and gathering were not the only ways to produce food. Now, with the constant supply of water, man could reliably and in a sustainable manner grow plants intentionally. This discovery alleviated the need to search and gather food. Agriculture was hard work but yielded huge benefits. So, larger food supply led to decreased starvation, which further led to increased settlements, communities, and later cities. This led to an increase in trade and commerce. Rivers served as important modes of transport and transportation for the same. As wealth and trade increased, huts were replaced by houses, which further shaped the civilized world. Now in this slide, the Indian rivers overview you can see. First of all, Himalayan and Karakoram ranges, then Vindhyas, Satpuras, Central Plateau and Western Ghats. These are present in India. And then in down there's Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea. Indus Valley Civilization. In this slide, you can see the sites of the Mohenjo-daro and Harappa along Indus Valley Civilization. Now, in this Indus Valley, the ancient civilizations of the Indian subcontinent were in and around two mighty river systems. You can see these civilizations in the map also. And the Indus Valley Civilization, that is mature period between 2600 to 1900 BCE, abbreviated IVC, was an ancient civilization in the Indian subcontinent that flourished around the Indus River basin. Primarily centered along the Indus River, the civilization encompassed most of what is now Pakistan, mainly the provinces of Sindh, Punjab, and Balochistan, as well as extending into the modern day Indian states of Gujarat, Haryana, Punjab, and Rajasthan. Nearby, the Saraswati Civilization, based on the now dried up Saraswati River, a river that in ancient Indian. Now, in this slide, you can see the Saraswati River, which was very ancient one, and the Saraswati River was believed to be now mostly disappeared or underground, and was the locus of one of the most ancient of human civilizations. In this slide, Ganga is born in the Gangotri Glacier at the foothills of Himalayas, 14,000 feet high, up in the Himalaya mountains of Uttaranchal. Gomukh is the giant ice cave from where the Ganga originates. The first town she reaches on leaving the mountains is Rishikesh. At this point, she is wider and slower. She becomes a real river, no more the turbulent stream that flows through canyons and ravines. Her main flow is through the Gangetic Plain, the vast flat land that stretches from the north to south of the state of Uttar Pradesh and from its west all the way to the eastern state of West Bengal. She is a source of water for agriculture, passing through famous towns such as Varanasi, and finally past Kolkata in the east. The Ganges reaches the ocean, creating one of the world's largest river deltas, a home to the beautiful Sundarban forests. My last slide was on Ganga, and now the Brahmaputra. The origin of Brahmaputra is in the southwestern Tibet as the Yerlong River. The river takes birth at the Mansarovar of the Himalayas, flows through Tibet, China, Burma, India, and joins the river Ganges in Bangladesh. Called the Sangpo in Tibet, it flows past the towns of Zagestes and Sidang and then climbs north. It curves around a majestic mountain called the Namchi Barwa shortly before entering India. Along the Brahmaputra are 1,000 chars or rivers islands. Several nomads live on them who wander from one island to another. Finally, passing through the Bangladesh, it becomes the Padma River and enters the Bay of Bengal in the Sundarbans along with the Ganges. Now, this slide is of river Kaveri. It is also called the Ganga of the South India. Kaveri starts as a small spring in Karnataka, Talkaveri, high up in the Brahmagiri mountains of the Western Ghats. At this spot stands a temple which has a tank filled with the river's water. A little further down, the Kaveri forks to form a rocky island called Srirangapatna. Until the end of the 18th century, this was the capital of the Mysore kingdom. It is believed that Lord Vishnu himself came and resided in these islands. At Sivasamudram, the Kaveri tumbles down as rapids and waterfalls, where the river plunges downward in a wonderful cascade to a depth of 300 to 350 feet. She falls with tremendous force and her waters are used to generate hydroelectricity. Kaveri enters the sea in a triangle-shaped delta in Tamil Nadu. The delta is large and covers 14 lakh hectares of land. The ancient temple town of Tanjavur stands at the head of the delta. Now, the Narmada rivers and the environment. Now, we'll talk about the Narmada river and the environment across it. The Narmada river is born in a small tank called Narmada Kund on the Amarkantak hill in eastern Madhya Pradesh. The Kanha National Park lies close to the Narmada in the Michael Plateau. Unusual species of birds and animals are found here. This is a protected area and was declared a tiger reserve in 1974. A Sardar Sarovar project is a part of a plan to take Narmada's waters to states further away where there is little rainfall and not much water for people and crops. But the dangers if this plan materializes are many. Earthquakes and flood caused by this man-made structure threaten the area around it. In response to these concerns, the Narmada Bachao Andolan movement grew to try and answer questions like, are big dams more dangerous than useful? Are there other ways of collecting water for drinking, irrigation and electricity? And third was, will those who lose their homes be given land somewhere else? And finally, I would like to say the large geographic span of India has a variety of rain-fed and mountain glacier rivers that have sustained the ancient civilization of India and still today continues to provide livelihood and substance for the large population of the nation. The rivers of India, apart from their utility, are a rich storehouse of natural beauty and have a long and ancient history of mythological and historical treasures. The global environmental problems of the 21st century will also have the impact on the rivers of India. by respecting these treasures of India, both for their history as well as for the precious natural resource of water. These rivers will sustain our country for many centuries to come. So, my dear student, I end this lecture over here only and leaving some questions for you all in the previous slide of mine, so that you may think and tell me about it. You should also think. And finally, I thank you repeating my name. My name is Dr. Preeti Mathur, Associate Professor, Department of Zoology, SPC, Government College, Ajmer. Thank you.